So the healing comes from the reconnecting of those protector parts and those hidden parts back to the whole, back to the wholeness, back to self-energy. So the disconnection is healed through acknowledgement and reconnection. We start to learn, well, what are these parts? How do we know what the parts are? How do we see where they got disconnected? Through triggers. That's one of the best ways. You can look at your triggers. You can look at your repeated life patterns. You can really look at anything that makes you frustrated, irritable, angry, sad, etc. in life. And we can find the part behind it. So the healing comes from the relationship of that reconnection with the part back to the whole, but also with self-energy being accessed, fully accessible now to the parts. The parts can use a gesture to get self-energy's attention, and then we turn our attention inward. We acknowledge the part, we love it, we listen to it, understand it. And through that process, the protector part knows self-energy is here now to lead, to drive the bus. And it will come to a point where it naturally just releases that extreme job because it's no longer needed. And that part is reconnected to the whole, to self-energy. It's a beautiful process. Don't get me wrong. There are little bits and pieces that it can be. It's not frustrating. The process is not frustrating. There are parts in the system that might get frustrated. Through my journey of healing, I had an impatient part that was like, we have to do this. We have to do this now. This has to be done yesterday. This is taking too long. And it was a very frustrated part, impatient part. But it was a part that had that extreme job trying to hurry stuff along for a certain reason. That was its extreme job. It needed to be reconnected to the whole, release that job, and go back to its original role it was meant to play. The last principle of IFS is its non-pathologizing, which simply means there are no labels or diagnoses given to the parts. So we don't say a part is an alcoholic. We say a part uses alcohol as its extreme job to numb the pain, to bring balance back to the system. So what happens in the system is there's emotional surge that gets, it's like a volcano, a tsunami, a tornado, a windstorm, whatever in the system that is, it's actually caused by the core wounds that protector part said, you're going to get anchored down, emotional pain, emotional wound, and you're going to go to the depths, the very depths of the system. We're going to hide you. We can't have you here. You make us weak. We're going to hide you. So you can't hide it. You can't run from it either. I tried that for decades. It doesn't work. I tried. So this emotional wound will keep getting pinged or triggered by things happening in life, and it'll keep exploding. When it explodes into the system's like, wow, wow. It's like a boat out at sea. When there's a storm, when the sea is calm, the boat's just, might be, just flowing. It actually rocks me to sleep if I'm on a boat and when the water is calm. When there's a storm, and if you've ever seen the movie The Perfect Storm, where there's waves, are huge waves, and the boat's getting knocked all over the place, that's what it looks like when we're triggered. That's what it actually looks like inside of the internal system, in the subconscious mind. So these parts come rushing in like, all hands on deck, steady the water. We need to do what we need to do. Annihilate relationships, addictions, adding responsibilities, people pleasing, avoiding, running, numbing. We have to do whatever we can to get those waves to calm down. So they're working really, really hard. And that's why I always tell them in my system and in my client's system, I respect you and honor you. You're working so hard, trying to keep that person safe. We see you, and we're here for you now, and we're not going anywhere. So that's why I start with the self energy. It's a little counterintuitive, and it's differently than how No Bad Parts, the book, is written. That book starts with introducing the parts. I get it. It's probably just a matter of preference. I like to inspire and bring hope. Look, this is what's inside too, and this is what we're going to access. The spirit, the soul, the life force, the prana, the wholeness. No matter what labels we put on it, it's all really the same thing. It's the wholeness at our core essence. So I call it core essence. IFS calls it self-energy. And even in the description on page 2 of your workbook, I believe it even uses those words, but separately. The self in IFS refers to the person's core or essence. And I just put it together. And to me, it's the core essence. It's who you fundamentally are beneath your changing thoughts, emotions, or roles. So the emotions, like we learned in module 1, is a messenger service. The body sensations, as we learned in module 1, is the messenger service. The thoughts are actually just the ripple effect that comes from the core belief, engaging the emotion, engaging the body, and then engaging the thoughts. So there's a writer, and he's passed in just the last few recent years. And he did a lot of good. He brought a lot of good to people, introducing concepts to people. His name is Dr. Wayne Dyer. And he coined the quote, change your thoughts, change your world, I believe. I say, change your core beliefs, change your world, without trying to very hard to do it. It doesn't have to be this willpower and this discipline. I'm not judging it. I'm not knocking it. Believe me, I lived it. I lived it. I was stoic, on a mission, and willpower all the way. With this, you don't need willpower. You go in the present moment, in the flow. You're in self-energy. You are receiving inner guidance intuitively, and you know where to flow next. And there's a lot more than that we'll get to. So this is just the second page of your workbook, is just describing the 8 C's of self, inherently there, characterizing self-energy, and states when a person is leading from self-energy, they can listen to and understand their parts without becoming overwhelmed by them. So the parts are still here to help us, and very much needed. I call them our human parts. They're in our human instinct survival brain, the subconscious human instinct survival brain. They are our human parts. They are here to help us be human, to live and survive as humans, and even to grow as humans. They're very needed. That's why we don't fight them. We don't get rid of them. We don't bypass them. We don't suppress thoughts. We celebrate them. We understand them. We love them. Love is the healing force in this work, and dare I say, in any work.